Hello, and welcome to the Collegewise Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can direct your questions to a specific school or schools, or you can leave a general question for all of our representatives to answer about their institutions. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded, as are all of our sessions during this program. They'll be available within about a week at that same website where you registered. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters. We are in session D8, and this is the collection of schools we'll be hearing from tonight. Our first presentation will be from Hollins University.
Okay, everybody, thank you for bearing with me. If you have your phone handy, I have a QR code there for you on the screen to scan, and that will give you just some additional information as well as some links. It's a PDF that you can download to your phone and then either save or email to yourself to keep. My name is Whitney Puckett. I'm a representative from Hollins University in the Office of Admission. We are an all-female undergraduate university, as well as a co-ed graduate university located in Roanoke, Virginia. If you're not familiar with the area, Roanoke is located approximately 3 hours by car from Washington, D.C., and we're in a very close proximity to some major cities that you may be familiar with. We're in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains here in Southwest Virginia. Just some fast facts about our college. We were founded in 1842, and we're rather small with an undergraduate admission total of about 670 students. That gives us an average class size of about 12, with a student to faculty ratio of 9:1. We have 29 majors, 30 minors, 17 concentrations, and 5 pre-professional programs that you can select and combine to create a program that is perfect for you and what your future plans are. Our most popular majors are English and creative writing, biology, business, psychology, and studio art. We also are a Division III athletic school with 9 athletic sports, as well as a nationally ranked equestrian team. Our community, despite our size, is actually quite diverse, with 34% of our population being students of color and/or Hispanic Latinx. Those students come from 38 different states and 22 countries, with about 53% of our students coming from Virginia. We have many clubs and organizations, including affinity groups like our Black Student Alliance, our Asian Student Alliance, and our Unión de Estudiantes and Latinx. We have special interests, for example, chess club, or We Who Appreciate Anime, Arts Association. So basically, we like to think of there's something for everyone at Hollins, and if we don't already have it, Hollins students are really good about essentially creating the clubs and organizations that they want to see on campus. So they're students that take a lot of interest in developing our campus and our community. Every year, something is new. Our SGA is extremely active. We have many elected roles, and it was ranked by the Princeton Review as being one of the most active student governments. We put a high premium on experiential learning. We have the Rutherford Center for Experiential Learning, and that includes our rather robust study abroad program, as well as individual faculty-led research, and our internship program, which is guaranteed at the for all qualified students beginning in your first year. Those internship placements allow you to build your resume as you're working through your program. And we have really amazing opportunities for students. In your first year, those internships are going to be placed around the Roanoke area. But then in our signature internship programs, students are placed in many really impressive positions. We've had students that have been placed in the Library of Congress, in the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta, in the National Theater, in corporations like Estee Lauder. We also have the Baton Leadership Institute on campus, and this can be added to any major. It does not belong exclusively to our business majors, but it does give you the chance, excuse me, to either take classes in certain leadership soft skills or business soft skills, or you can complete a series of classes to allow you to have a certificate of leadership. These are just some of our accolades from the latest Princeton Review and US News 2021 Best Colleges. We were ranked number 6 most politically active students, as well as number 5 Best Alumni Network. And just a note on that Best Alumni Network ranking, that is really what allows us to offer the number 21 Best School for internships, because we take advantage of the generosity and the encouragement that our alumni network provides to make sure that our students have such amazing opportunities. In terms of how to apply, it's a fairly straightforward, streamlined process. You can apply online either through our Hollins website using our application or for free through the Common App. Either is fine. You also need to submit your transcripts. Test scores for this season are going to be completely optional. It will not impact your admissions decision should you choose not to submit an SAT or ACT score. But if you feel your scores are competitive and show off what kind of academically competitive student you are, then we encourage you to submit them. And then last would be a secondary school report or letter of recommendation. Again, there's no application fee for applying to Hollins, and we have 3 deadlines. The first one is our early decision deadline, which is November 1st. This is our binding decision for students who are sure that they want to attend Hollins. The next is our early action deadline, which is November 15th. This is a non-binding decision. And then our regular decision deadline is February 1st. Hollins is really committed to affordability. We guarantee at least $24,000 in grants and scholarships to all first-year students. So upon admission, your decision letter would include a financial aid package, and our average reward is $36,000. We would love it if you would join us for a virtual visit. I've included our QR scan right here. If you didn't get a chance to scan that at the beginning, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Whitney, for sharing more about Hollins. Our next presentation will be from James Madison University.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Joanna. I am the admissions counselor here at James Madison University that works with New Jersey and New York. So I know that was part of the population that was looking at this event today. And I know the other half was the West Coast. So Erin Conley is your person. On this first slide that I have, I also have a QR code down here in the corner that you guys can scan to get on our mailing list. That is how you'll get updates throughout the year and the season, whether you are a senior or a junior, up until the time that you get to JMU. So James Madison is a large institution. We're a 4-year institution, public state down here in Virginia. We're about 19,883 students. We're 94% undergrad, so we have a graduate school of about 2,000. You can see the in-state, out-of-state percentages and the minority percentages there. We are D1 for our sports. And then you can see a couple of accolades on here. So we are the #1 most recommended public university in the United States, according to the Wall Street Journal in 2020. We have the #1 graduation rate for the US for a large master's level public university. So that's with our graduates. We are the #2 public university in the South. And then the one that's not on here, and I'm surprised it's not, is we are also #1 for the best college for employment in Virginia, which is super fun. We're super excited about that for the public state institutions. Part of that is because 80% of our students complete an internship, practicum, research project, student teaching experience of some kind during their time at JMU. We call that the experiential learning that my friend at Hollins was just talking about. So 80% of our students will do that during their time here. When we're looking at admission for JMU, we have 2 different deadlines. We only have an early action and a regular decision. Our early action is November 15th. Our regular decision is February 1st. We moved them back 2 weeks this year. Normally they're November 1st and January 15th. So the seniors for this year, you guys got an extra 2 weeks because of everything that's happening. But normally, and I'm expecting next year that they will go back. What we're looking for when we're looking for at an application, we're looking for rigorous coursework on your transcript. We're looking at the core curriculum specifically to see how you are taking advantage of the rigor that's offered in your core classes. We're looking for mostly A's and B's in those core classes. We are test optional. We've been test optional for 3 years. This year, it's extremely important because I know that a lot of our seniors have not been able to take their SATs or ACTs, but we haven't needed it for 3 years, and we don't expect to need it again next year or anything like that. And your intended major is not an admissions factor at JMU. So that's kind of what we look at. So really, I mean, we need your transcript, we need your application. That's really it, those 2 things. We don't need test scores. If you want to send us a essay or letter of recommendation, great. We'll only take 1 letter of recommendation, but it's up to you. If you think that that is going to help your application to be as strong as it can be, then by all means, send that right along to us. We have 164 academic programs that are broken out into different colleges. Students double major, they can minor based on their interests. You can see there on the left side some of our bigger programs. So education is one of our more popular programs. We were founded in 1908 as a normal school, a school that taught teachers how to teach. So that was what we were based on, built on, found on back in the early 1900s. You can see business, arts and letters, health and behavioral studies, integrated science and engineering, science and math, visual performing arts, and honors college are the couple of different schools that we have. Education is one of our biggest, business is one of our biggest, nursing is one of our biggest, pre-health professionals are one of our biggest. So we have lots of different options for you and very popular programs there in those things. Now we're based in Harrisonburg, Virginia, so we're kind of central-ish on the way down through it. We're kind of considered the central area. We are in the Shenandoah Valley. We have an airport that's about 20 minutes from campus. Washington, D.C. and Richmond are both 2 hours away from us, so you can kind of see where they live on this map here. We're flanked by 2 mountain ranges. So being in the Shenandoah Valley, we have the Appalachian Mountains to our west and the Blue Ridge Mountains to our east. So there's tons of outdoor activities, including hiking and backpacking and all that kind of stuff. We have a Massanutten Resort, which is about 30 minutes away, that has skiing and snowboarding in the wintertime. There's also a water park there that you can go to in the summertime when it's warm out. Downtown Harrisonburg is within walking distance from campus. It's about 10 minutes from my office. So I regularly will go down there for lunch. There's great restaurants, shops, things to do down there as well. You can come and stay. We have a hotel right on campus that is part of our hospitality management program, being run by students and things like that. So you can stay on campus if you ever get to come visit. If you want to come visit and do that, you can totally stay on campus as well. And then really the only other thing on here, find your counselor, right? You have a person who is your point of contact. They are your person, your lobster, so to speak, for your entire admissions process. So definitely use that jmu.edu-admissions-contact to find us. You can find our emails and things like that. Calendly links, we have Calendly set up for that, so you can find those and get in touch with us if you have specific questions based on what you're interested in at JMU.
Great. Thank you so much, Hannah, for sharing more about James Madison. Our next school today will be Roanoke College.
All right. My name's Elise Bennett. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admission and the Director of International Recruitment here at Roanoke. I'm also a proud Roanoke College graduate. I graduated in '99 and I've been working here at Roanoke for 20 years. So you can tell that I don't just love my job, I love my school, and I'm excited to share some things about Roanoke with you today. One of the things that you should know about Roanoke is that in any sort of measure, whether you're looking at the Princeton Review or US News and World Report, Roanoke is in the top tier of liberal arts colleges nationwide. We typically rank between the top 7 to 8% of liberal arts colleges in the country. We recently were recognized by US News and World Report as a top college for social mobility. That means that we have a number of students at Roanoke who have high academics, but also have high financial need. And so we do a good job of helping students afford Roanoke from all different backgrounds. We're also recognized for undergraduate teaching, and we were ranked as a top school for accessible and approachable professors, which I think just talks about our culture and how our students perceive our faculty. We are a top producer of Fulbright scholars, not only in the state of Virginia, but in the nation. We've been recognized for 4 of the last 5 years by the Chronicle of Higher Education. That means our students win lots of scholarship opportunities during college and after college to travel overseas, to do research or to work. You should know that our area is a beautiful one. Our college president describes it as a Sun City mountain location. And it's something that attracted me over 20 years ago. I'm from the state of Maine. I was looking for warmer weather and I headed south. I looked at schools in Virginia and North Carolina, came across the Roanoke Valley and Roanoke College and fell in love with it. We're in a small, friendly little college town, the city of Salem, which is about 26,000 people. We're in a larger metropolitan area of 300,000. So we're in the biggest area west of Richmond, the state of Virginia. Because of that, we have access to an airport 10 minutes from campus, Amtrak is nearby, and we're flanked by the Blue Ridge Mountains. And so you have these beautiful mountain views around campus, lots of outdoor recreation. Internships are close, within 5, 10, 15 minutes of campus, and museums, shopping malls, concerts, all of that. The top picture is the city of Roanoke. The little picture with the American flag is our Main Street, Salem. And our college campus is right on Main Street. We have a little over 2,000 undergraduate students. Typically, our students are actually more out of state than in. That changed a little bit this year because of the pandemic. We expect it to go back to a little bit more normal next year. So typically about 52% of our students are from out of state, 48% from Virginia. They come from all over the United States and all over the world. And so you're really going to get a chance to meet people from everywhere. And that's something that I really appreciated. We guarantee housing on campus for all 4 years. Our average class size is just 18 students. So it's the kind of place where you're going to get a lot of personal attention. And we have lots of wonderful alumni mentorships for our students. We have lots of academic programs, 50 majors, 69 minors, and pre-professional programs. Our most popular majors are business, psychology, communication studies, history, biology. We have new majors in education, data analysis, and engineering science. And for the full list, you can check out our website. We are known for our topics-based core curriculum. So instead of taking lots of 101 classes their freshman year, our students get to pick topics and areas they're really interested in. So here's just a few examples. We do guarantee that all of our students will have real-world learning experiences and work experiences. We really try to make sure they have experiences from the following 5 categories. Our average student at Roanoke has 5 experiences from these 5 categories. And one highlight I will point out to you is our Washington, D.C. internship semester, where our students work everywhere from the White House to the Justice Department, to the Supreme Court, and beyond. So lots of great opportunities. 93% of our seniors within 6 months of graduation have a job or graduate school placement, and we do have a competitive honors program. We have over 112 student clubs and organizations, 22 NCAA Division III sports. Our newest is men's wrestling, and we are known as a big field sports school. So soccer, lacrosse, field hockey, and then also baseball, softball, basketball, and track and field are standout sports for us. We do have lots of scholarship opportunities for our students. Everyone admitted automatically receives between $20,000 and $29,000 annually. We give visit grants of $1,000 a year if you come in person or take part in one of our virtual visits. We are open right now for in-person visits Monday through Saturday. We have fellows and honors grants of $1,000 per year, fine arts scholarships, and every student who files the FAFSA can get $1,000 annually. We do also offer financial aid to international students. We accept the Roanoke College application or the common application. Our upcoming deadlines are November 18th for early decision and for early action 2. And you can see the decision dates here. We are test optional. And so if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to us. I'm happy to be of assistance. You'll see our contact information here. And we hope you'll come and visit us soon or do a virtual visit with us. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Elise, for sharing more about Roanoke. We are reaching our halfway point. We've heard our first 3 schools. We have 3 more to go. So just a reminder to all of our attendees that the Q&A box is a great place to ask a follow-up question about one of the schools you've already heard from, or to make sure if there's something you really want to know about one of the upcoming schools. And also you can ask a question for everyone to weigh in on, and please, we hope you'll consider that. All right, our next presenter is going to be the University of Mary Washington.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for having me today. My name is Adam Moore, Assistant Director of Admissions at the University of Mary Washington, and also the out-of-state recruiter for Mary Washington. So my email's there right in the bottom left. Any questions, I'm the guy to go to. But a little bit of background about Mary Washington. We are located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. For those who don't know, that's about 50 miles south of DC and about 60 miles north of Richmond. Really good space, really great opportunities in the local community and beyond. On campus, we have about 4,100 undergraduate students coming from all over the place, not just the great state of Virginia, but 29 other states and 34 different countries represented on campus. And our location really is an ideal spot for internships, research, and opportunities like that. So from a classroom experience, we do have small class sizes because of our campus size. Average class size is about 19. The student to faculty ratio is 13:1 at the University of Mary Washington. No grad assistants are teaching classes. You're going to know your professors. They're going to know who you are. You are in the driver's seat of your educational experience. We want to make sure you get the most out of your 4 years at the University of Mary Washington. So if you want to get into the Jepson Science Center early on in your experience, let's make it happen. If you want to do internships, let's make that happen as well. So great experiences because of the connections from your professors. From an academic sense, we're broken up into 3 colleges at the university: the College of Education, the College of Business, and the College of Arts and Sciences. Some programs that are very specific to Mary Washington would have to be our Historical Preservation program. Cybersecurity is another fantastic program that we offer if you're interested in potentially working for the government. We have tons of internship opportunities that work with our students that in a variety of capacities in the government, if that's something you were interested in. And in addition to not only the majors, a ton of minor offerings, as well as pre-professional programs. A large swath of our students will go through our pre-med, pre-dental, pre-law programs, some fantastic opportunities available to our students that are going to be continuing their education upon graduation from undergraduate. I mentioned some of the beyond the classroom experiences at the University of Mary Washington in terms of those internships, those research opportunities, whether they're on campus or off. Some students in the top left photo there are on the Rappahannock River doing some off-campus research. Community engagement is another big thing with us. So we're really proud of the Fredericksburg area and the community we're a part of, and we want to make sure we're giving back to that community. So tons of service-oriented opportunities for our students throughout the fall and spring semesters. And then study abroad too is a big one with us. 147 programs in 51 different countries. So if you're looking to experience a fantastic time in the great state of Virginia and also maybe a semester abroad, definitely think about the University of Mary Washington as an option for you. From a student life perspective, 150 plus clubs on campus, always adding new clubs every year. That's why that plus is there. Really supportive and friendly community. When students ask about kind of something unique about the institution, I always talk about that sense of community. We have students that are doing a lot of different things. You don't have to just be one thing at Mary Washington. You can be on the lacrosse team, be a part of our theater department at the same time, and really be who you want to be. So awesome art scene on and off campus, really awesome kind of speakers that are going on campus, concerts, all of those types of things when it's safe to have large groups. So great opportunities on the weekends. We're very residential, around 65 to 70%, depending on the year. A number of students live on campus, so you're guaranteed housing all 4 years as well. So that really creates a super supportive community and environment because of how residential we are. I mentioned one sport already, lacrosse, right? We do have a ton of varsity athletic opportunities available at the Division III level. We're the Eagles, a part of the Capital Athletic Conference. Another sport that's not necessarily listed as a varsity athletic program on here is our fantastic rugby program. We're a 2-time national champion in rugby. So anyone out there interested, feel free to drop me an email. Happy to get you in contact with any of our great coaches. And you know, if varsity is not your thing, 20 other club sports as well, tons of intramural sports. So whatever way you want to stay active, definitely great opportunities available. From an admissions perspective, we don't really look at a rigid formula. We look at kind of take a holistic approach and review you as a student and a person. I always talk about the application process as a puzzle, right? Every piece of information you give us is another piece of that puzzle to create a clearer picture. And we're always excited to talk about what next steps need to be taken in the admissions process. If you wanted to shoot me an email as well, happy to send you a fee waiver. We're all part of the Common App, and we have our own Mary Washington app as well. So similar to everyone else, we have early decision, early action, and that regular decision deadline. So great opportunities to apply. If you're curious, we are also test optional, so don't have to submit scores with us either. Great opportunities when it comes to the application. A couple alums I always love to highlight too, you know, whether you're continuing your academic career, going on to dentistry school or going on to med school, or, you know, like Rob and Abbas at the bottom there, starting their own business. And that's a multi-million-dollar, they were on Forbes 30 under 30 list a few years ago. We're always so proud of our alums and all the really cool things they're doing, not only for the Virginia community, but community at large. And we're so proud of all the great opportunities that we afforded them during their time at UMW in Fredericksburg and also after that. So, and lastly, follow us on social media. Definitely a good way to check out the vibe of campus and what we're all about. So thanks for taking the time to listen to me today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing more about the University of Mary Washington. Our next presentation will be from the University of Richmond.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Austin Kelso. I am an assistant director of admission at the University of Richmond. Just a fancy way of saying that I recruit students, I read applications, and I help to make admission decisions. I've been with the University of Richmond for about 5 years, and I'm also a proud alum. I graduated in 2015 with degrees in environmental studies and geography and the environment. Obviously, in 6 minutes, I can't cover everything about the university, so I just want to cover some high-level key piece of information for you all to know. And if you have any questions as I'm speaking, I have another one of my colleagues behind the scenes who can answer your questions. So please feel free to go ahead and drop those questions in the Q&A box. So the University of Richmond is a small private liberal arts university. And as our name suggests, we are located just outside the city of Richmond, Virginia. So we're situated on a suburban campus, around 350 acres, which for the size of our student body is quite large. So there's plenty of room for you all as students to stretch out and breathe. There's a lake in the middle. There's plenty of green space. But the benefit for you all as students is that you're not isolated, right? You can have this suburban campus, but you also have all the amenities of a capital city right within reach. So we're 6 miles away from downtown Richmond. For point of reference, that's about a 15-minute drive from our campus into downtown. A lot of those neighborhoods where students will hang out are 7 to 10 minutes away, so a little bit closer. So in terms of ease of access, it's great to have the city there as a resource, not only for things like internships, but also socially for students, right? So on a Friday night, if you want to go to a concert downtown, you can do that. Or on a Sunday morning, if you want to get brunch, it's easily accessible. So it's great to have the city there as a resource for our students. And in terms of our location in Virginia, we're also pretty centrally located. So we are 2 hours south of Washington, D.C. We're 2 hours from Virginia Beach, 2 hours from the Blue Ridge Mountains. So we're in a really great jumping off point for a lot of experiences on the East Coast. And in terms of getting to Richmond, we're 25 minutes from an international airport and about 15 minutes from 2 different Amtrak stations as well. As a university, we are small, so we have around 3,000 undergraduate students, and these students represent, come from 47 states and over 70 countries. So it's quite a diverse student body. I think we cast quite a wide web with where our students are coming from. In terms of the academic experience at Richmond, 99% of our classes have fewer than 30 students, and that average class size is around 16 students. And what this means for you all is an intimate academic experience. We are the kind of university where when you walk into class, your teachers know who you are. They know you by name. The rest of the students know who you are. I think in a lot of ways, that sense of community is really palpable on our campus. People know who you are, and they're looking out for you. Additionally, of these 3,000 students, around 90% of them choose to live on campus all 4 years. So typically the student experience at Richmond is highly residential. We never require students to live on campus, but students are making that choice to do so. And as a result, you'll find that a lot of that social life, student clubs and organizations, their activities are happening on campus. It's not the kind of place where students are leaving on the weekends to go home or things like that. So we are a small university, but we like to say small university, big resources. With 3,000 students, we provide our students the resources that you may find at larger research institutions. And I think the Richmond Guarantee is a wonderful example of this. So we guarantee every single one of our students $4,000 of funding to take an unpaid or minimally paid internship or research experience. So in other words, we will pay every single one of you $4,000 to go take an unpaid job, and that's guaranteed one time. About 20% of our students will actually take advantage of this more than once. And the reason that we created the guarantee was we saw that a lot of our students were receiving wonderful internships or research positions, but they were unpaid. And so they were turning these positions down to take other opportunities where they would make money. And we wanted to make sure that our students had no excuse to not take an opportunity that was going to build their resume, build a professional experience, allow them to follow their passions. And so the Richmond Guarantee is what we created to make sure that our students can always take opportunities that they want to take. This money is grant funded money, so it's quite flexible with how you use it. And even if you were to receive an internship in another country, the Richmond Guarantee would apply to those abroad experience as well. I know we had one of our students 2 years ago received an internship working down in South Africa in Kruger National Park, working on lion conservation with an NGO down there. And that was an unpaid experience, and we were able to use the guarantee to fund her to go down there and take that position. So we always want to make sure at Richmond that you can take those opportunities that will build your professional experience and build your resume to make you a more competitive applicant in that job search. So I mentioned you can use that Richmond Guarantee for an internship abroad. I would say most of our students are not doing internships abroad, but almost all of our students, around 70% of them, are studying abroad at some point during their time at Richmond, whether that's for a summer, a semester, or a full year. And I think as you're looking at school, study abroad is something that is not unique to Richmond. But what I do think is unique to Richmond when it comes to that study abroad component is that number of students who are going abroad. We're ranked number 2 in the country among undergraduate institutions who are sending students abroad for semester study abroad programs. So we have 75 programs in over 35 plus countries. Your tuition, your financial aid, and your merit aid will all apply to your abroad experience. And additionally, we know going abroad can be an expensive endeavor, and so we'll give all of our students $1,000 to cover that experience. And then lastly, and most importantly, we have our academics. At Richmond, we have 3 undergraduate schools: School of Arts and Sciences, the Robbins School of Business, and the Justice School of Leadership Studies. All over 100 majors, minors, and concentrations all fall within these 3 schools, and we have no direct entry programs. And that is Richmond in about 6 minutes. If you have any questions, here's my email and my name. I'd be happy to hear from you. Otherwise, best of luck in the college search and application process.
Great, thank you so much, Austin. All right, our next institution will be William and Mary.
There we go. Just trying to get everything situated, but good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This evening, we're gonna do a quick 6 minutes, and I'm gonna put on my timer just to share with you a little bit about the College of William and Mary. William and Mary was founded in 1693. We do boast being the second oldest institution of higher learning in the country. We were first to get our charter. However, Harvard beat us to the punch. We are an institution that considers ourselves a small to mid-sized institution. So a lot of my colleagues have been sharing with you about their size. We're a little bit bigger at 6,300, but we do boast being a liberal arts institution with the big amenities of a large research institution, which we'll get to a little later. We are nestled in Williamsburg, Virginia, so we're about 45 minutes away from our colleagues at University of Richmond. We're also about 45 minutes to an hour away from Virginia Beach. And then we're a little further away from JMU and Hollins, but we're on the eastern part of the state. We have students representing all 50 states and over 60 foreign countries, and we do believe that we have a strong collaborative community, which you can see reflected even in the picture that you're seeing on the screen of one of our love traditions of convocation, where all the students welcome in our new students as they arrive during their first week of on campus. We are a liberal arts and science institution, and if you're looking for an environment where you would experience smaller classes, you would get that at William and Mary. We have 11:1 student to faculty ratio, and most of our students say that their class size hover between 20 and 25 students per class, and only 3% of our classes are large lecture halls. Based on our population, large is about 100 students, so that is something that you won't experience. We are #1 as a public institution in the country for study abroad, having about a little over 60% of our students participate in study abroad. We've had students study abroad on all 7 continents and around the world, and we do have elaborate or more diverse study abroad experience ranging from 2 weeks to 2 years through our joint degree program at St. Andrews College in Scotland. If you have any questions about St. Andrews, this is your time to get the question answered. My dean, colleague, accomplice on the back end runs that program and is able to answer any of those nuanced questions if you do have them. St. Andrews allows students to study abroad for 2 years and get a fully global and immersive educational experience. We also have about 80% of our students participate in faculty guided research in a number of topics and oftentimes cross disciplines. So that is something to look into, if that is something to consider if you're looking into William and Mary. We have nearly 500 clubs and organizations in our small community. So if you're interested in anything from the Nerf Club to the Pancake Club to one of our 16 a cappella clubs, there is something here for you. And if you can't find what kind of fits you or your people, you'll definitely find a group of like-minded students to join you. We are part of we do have 19 Division I sports and have a diversity of students. We're really looking to increase the diversity of our students, especially students identify as first generation. This year and moving forward, we do have fee waivers for any students out there who are first generation college students. So if that applies to you, please consider applying to William and Mary without the barrier related to the fee for application. These are some of the things that we're looking at here. This is a big slide for academics. We just want to tell you that we're looking to get to know more about you through the application. We really want you to shine. And first of all, like many of our colleagues said, we're looking at the classes that you take. We want to see that you've taken challenging classes, and that you've done well in those challenging classes. Normally here we would talk a little bit about testing, but right now I'm going to lean in close to you. We are test optional. It is not a joke, and we'll be continuing to pilot that through the next 3 years because we know that there have been barriers to access with testing, so we don't want that to be a barrier. On personal qualities side of things, we like to see that you have strong letters of recommendation. You can submit as many as you want. You will have a regional dean. Each of your applications will be read at least twice, so that is something to consider. And then we want to see that you're involved in extracurricular activities. As you've seen, all those clubs and organizations, our students are very collaborative and engaged. And then lastly, we want you to knock us off our socks with your essay. So please remember that. We do admit about 1,500 students each year. And as you can see from the freshman retention rate and the graduation rate, we are really reading your applications to admit students who are going to do well and thrive in this environment. Just want to go over real quickly that we are an early decision school. So that means that it is a binding agreement, but we do have early decision 1 or 2. So just in case you wanted to go to one of my colleague schools and maybe that didn't work out, you're welcome to apply early decision 2, which deadline is January 1, and early decision 1, which deadline is coming up so quickly on November 1st. So if you're out there, we look forward to reading your applications. We also have regular decision January 1. And like I said, I would be remiss if I did not big up my fabulous colleagues. We do have a fabulous staff of transfer deans, and we do believe it's not how you start, it's how you end. So if William and Mary sounds like a good option for you, please feel free to reach out to us at WM, admissions at WM, or go to the Meet the Committee page and look out for your regional dean. I'm the regional dean for Richmond in New York. So if you see me here and you want to just shout out, please do that. And that was my time.
Great job, Jackie. Thanks for sharing so much more about William and Mary with our attendees. We do have just a couple more minutes before we end our time together. So if I could have each of the presenters turn their cameras back on, kind of come back to the group. We want to give all of our attendees a last chance to think if they have any questions, any follow-up emails, or website reminders that they might be looking for to get more information after today. Any last questions? While we're doing that, I'd love for you all to answer another question about your school. We'll go in the same order that you presented. As one representative finishes, if you know you're next, just feel free when they're done to unmute and just begin your answer. And we'll go around 1 through 6. So if you could share with everyone, what is one, an event, a tradition, or an experience that students could really look forward to experiencing coming to your campus, and kind of gives us a little extra insight into what makes your community special and unique? And we'll start with Hollins.
Thank you. I think that one particular tradition that our students really look forward to is Tinker Day. So we are nestled in the shadow of Tinker Mountain. And on that day, it's unannounced. It's randomly announced on a day, usually in October, although this year we had to bump it to spring. And classes are canceled. So students are surprised by no classes, and then they gather together, they hike up Tinker Mountain, and when they get to the top, they have a celebratory lunch of fried chicken and Tinker cake, and then they spend the rest of the day performing class skits and singing songs and just sort of enjoying each other as a community.
I love that so much. Whitney, I'll tell you guys the JMU tradition, but first, Whitney, I read a book by Lee Smith, I think it was, who went to Hollins, and in that book, she talks about that day. It's super cool to hear that.
Yeah, it's a really beloved tradition. It's been around for forever.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So JMU, I'm gonna say 2, because one of them is the wider university tradition that we all like to talk about, and then the other one is the one that I like. So the wider one, football. We're D1 for football. Tailgating, food, that's kind of a big deal. But the thing that everybody likes to talk about, students and staff combined, is that when JMU scores a touchdown, they throw purple and gold streamers into the stands, and they have a chant that they do, and it's all super, super fun and super cool. So they all say that you'll go to at least one JMU football game during your time at the school. My favorite tradition, honestly, is the dining hall traditions. So every Thursday there's grilled cheese in D hall and chicken nuggets in E hall. Every Friday there's buffalo mash. So I'm a big foodie. So I like the consistency of the food that I know I can get and all the good stuff that I can get there. So that's mine.
So one of my favorite traditions at Roanoke, we have this thing about leaving your mark. And so when you arrive at Roanoke during freshman orientation, we present every freshman with an engraved wooden pen, and it has the Roanoke College logo engraved. We then have the students, through an opening convocation process, up to a faculty member who has a sign-in book, and they sign their name into a roll book that's kept in our college archives. 4 years later, during your graduation week, which is just the most amazing, fun week full of picnics and barbecues and fun things like that, our college president hosts our seniors at his house. He puts on this fabulous dinner, and the students dress up and they go down to his basement, and he has floor to ceiling wooden bookshelves, and you will carve your name into the wooden bookshelf. So you sign in with a wooden pen as a freshman, and 4 years later, you carve your name and your graduation year, and you'll always leave your mark at Roanoke. So that's my favorite tradition.
Awesome. At UMW, just kind of looking at the time, just a quick answer, it's Devil Goat Day. The even number of school years are the goats, the odd are the devils, and it's a massive class competition. Go at it in the spring, tons of prizes, really cool carnival celebration at the end of the school year. Really cool tradition, Devil Goat Day at UMW.
Yeah, in Richmond, similar to Roanoke, we have something called Proclamation Night for our first year women, where it's your induction into University of Richmond, and you write a letter to yourself. The school keeps it for 4 years, and then again, senior year, all the senior women and freshman women come together, and you get your letter back as a senior, and you get to write your letter as a first year student, so you get to see how much you've changed during your time at U of R. Something I did not participate in, but I wish I could have.
So I reshared the screen just so I could show you. Picture this, the Wren building, the oldest academic building in the country in continuous use. Your first week of on campus, you walk through it, and on the other side of the thruway, the entire campus is there to welcome you. That is what you're seeing on the top of your screen. That is one of our beloved traditions that we call convocation. And as an admission officer, it's almost like a job well done that you get to see everybody that you admitted go through and look so happy, but had to give it to you very Sophia Golden Girls. Picture this, William and Mary, whenever you get here. This is what you experience.
Unmute. I love hearing all these traditions. I want to go look up pictures and learn more about them. And I hope that all of our attendees and those watching the video later also enjoyed this little extra sneak peek into the unique student experiences that each community can provide. As we're ending our time, I just want to say thank you so much to all of our presenters for sharing not just the facts and figures, but the pride and excitement you have about the experiences that your school can provide all of its students and the memories that are and impact it has for your alumni. Thank you to all of our attendees for taking time out today to come and learn about these schools. We really appreciate it, and thank you for joining us. When you close your window, there's going to be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, again, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so we hope that you'll sign up for additional sessions as part of the programming. And in about a week's time, you'll find this session's recording, as well as all the other session recordings at the website where you registered. Thank you again, everyone, and best wishes in your college search. Good night.